Hello, everyone, and a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Season of Agents, a virtual event dedicated to exploring the dynamic world of intelligent agents, automation, and the future of AI powered productivity. Join us as we dive into the evolving world of AI with Ekta Agrawal, ma'am, who is AI R&D engineer at GPT-5, a true expert in building intelligent systems that work well with humans. So, inviting Ekta ma'am on stage and let's have a very great journey with AI agents.
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu, for the warm welcome. Hello, everyone. I'll just share my screen and let's begin. I hope my screen is getting presented right now.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So as we said, this is season of AI agents, and indeed, 2020 after 2022, there has been a constant evolution. कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ आ रहा है, and now 2025 has been mostly about agentic AI, and we will be diving more into it. So let's start. A quick introduction about me. I am Ekta Agarwal, currently working as an AI R&D engineer at GPT-5. I'm also working on my own social entrepreneurship initiative, which is called Neurospark, where we are trying to leverage AI for neurodivergent kids. Apart from that, I've been a OMLA's fellowship and sustainability champion. And in my pastime, I like to deploy augmented reality filters and effects on social media sites like Instagram and Facebook. So just a fun part time I do. So let's begin with the topic of our title, topic of our talk, which is engineering. It is, when we see AI agents, we might be thinking कि prompt engineering वहाँ पे कहाँ आता है. But I'll tell you, this is one of the most important parts when we talk about autonomous intelligence. It is mostly like a user experience that you give, and we'll see later how it is coming. So, firstly, let's talk what are prompts. So, as you know, prompts are like specific instructions that you give in natural language to your LLM or Gen AI tools to get responses and desired outcomes. I'm so sorry, Sudhanshu, is my camera getting shared right now? Is it now? All right. So, prompts are like specific instructions that we give to our LLM, and in order to get responses that we desire, which can outputs can be in form of text, images, videos, sounds, or code. And therefore, where does prompt engineering come? It is like a art and science that we use to craft our prompts. So basically, prompt engineering is very useful in cases like building AI-based applications, automating our code generation in data analytics, or while we are personalizing our tools for learning and other tasks. So prompt engineering उन चीज़ों के लिए specifically हमें बहुत help करती है. Let's go on to very basic. We won't dive much into prompt engineering, but basics of promptology. वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग AI इज़ नॉट अ जीनी. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने सोचा एंड इट विल नो कि उसको क्या बनाना है. यू हैव टू क्लियरली डिफाइन द टास्क कि उसको क्या काम करना है. सेकेंडली, कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज द क्वीन. कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज द किंग. क्लैरिटी इज द क्वीन. आपको जब भी आप अपना प्रॉम्प्ट लिखते हो, यू हैव टू ऐड कॉन्टेक्स्ट इन योर प्रॉम्प्ट, whether it is in form of role, you are adding a persona, you add examples into it, you add additional information. And now we also have multi-model LLMs, राइट. सो वहाँ पे हम टेक्स्ट के, ऑडियोज के, PDFs के फॉर्म में भी हम वी कैन ऐड मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन इन टू आवर प्रॉम्प्ट सो दैट वी गेट बेटर रिजल्ट्स. वही कहते हैं कि लाइक गार्बेज इन गार्बेज आउट. इफ यू डोंट गिव क्लियर प्रॉम्प्ट्स यू वोंट गेट अ गुड रिजल्ट. And lastly, evaluate and iterate. Great prompts are always engineered, they're not guessed. So you have to constantly test them. You write a prompt, test it. If you don't get a result which you were desiring, you have to again go on with that cycle. For this, we have a short example that I would like to show you all. So this is first thing that I tried. So for example, I have a friend whose birthday is coming, and she is a big fan of animes. So I want to give her a gift which is based on anime style. So I just went to ChatGPT and wrote anime style gifts. So it asked me, मतलब मैंने टास्क मैंने मतलब सोचा कि मुझे उसको वो देना है, बट मैंने अपना प्रॉम्प्ट वैसे नहीं लिखा. तो दैट इज वाई दैट प्रॉम्प्ट वाज आस्किंग मी कि can you clarify what kind of things you specifically want me to answer. So then I wrote, suggest birthday gifts for an anime lover. Then it went on and gave me proper results. These are the options you can try under $1,000, or maybe these are the options that you would like. So now what was missing here was मैंने बता दिया task कि I want gift, but मैंने ये नहीं बताया कि context क्या है. So now I am adding a context here. So context में I am adding a role. I am giving it some more information. So I wrote, you are a creative gift advisor. Now suggest me birthday gifts for a 21-year-old anime enthusiast who loves shows like Naruto. And now you can see the quality of response has drastically changed. It is now giving me a specific anime themed gifts, which are also very curated. If you read the responses, it is telling me about how I can make a custom anime portrait, I can build a complete gift box, or even a ramen date kit. Pretty cool, right? So all these are the responses. I think I can really talk a little bit more. You remember I told you clarity is the queen. So how I can add clarity here is, मतलब ये सारी चीजें, if I read into it, I can miss a point, right? So I want even more clarity into my response. So I'm writing again. Include a mix of collectibles, practical items, and quirky pics. Format the output in format of a table. And now it gave me, based on the above responses, it gave me a table, which is much more useful for me now in order to make a decision. So you see, that's how your responses change drastically as you refine your prompts. You can also see one more fundamental which is being used here, which is called prompt chaining. That as you're prompting, based on your previous feedbacks and previous iterations, the responses are getting more smarter with you. So this is also a very important part which we need to keep in mind. So this was mostly about what and how prompt engineering is so important for you to get good results. Going back, but again, the question, how is prompting so relevant with AI agents? So let me tell you, what do you think AI agents are? AI agents कुछ नहीं होते, they are just AI applications which are helping us do a particular task leveraging AI. So modern day, I'll talk it in terms of very non-coder aspect as well. I'm not going very deep because prompting is a skill that everyone can master. You don't need to be a very good AI engineer or a very domain specific expert in order to prompt about it. In order to use and leverage AI agents, prompt engineering, you can be from any field. So that is why we'll keep things and the session very simple for everyone. So AI agents, they are like applications. So they can be completely, आप बहुत इसको complex proper coding से भी कर सकते हैं. और what I'll say for non coders as well, you can use non coding use visual programming से you can also build AI agents. जैसे we have Copilot as part of Microsoft. तो उसमें भी what basically components इसमें जो रहते हैं, there is a complete framework जिसमें you can either have your, oh, we cannot build our own LLM, but we can directly import a API key. So API key will help us access the reasoning, all the procedural decision making capabilities of LLM. Second, we can have tools. So tools which actually go and perform tasks. Then we have something called knowledge base. The context, कि किस चीज़ पे. We also have that concept of RAG and all these things, which can be incorporated in agents. But the most important part which comes as part of AI agent is called system prompt, which we will be seeing right now. System prompt is nothing but it is a description about what your agent will do. ये आप simple language में लिखते हो English में. You don't even need coding to write system prompt. ये but what system prompt does it, जो आप code कर रहे होते earlier अपने Python या JavaScript में, system prompt just you tell LLM or you tell your application that you are this, you are a marketing AI agent, and I will give you context. You have to help me build a campaign out of it. You have to write me an email for my client. You have to personalize this content according to my instructions. So एक simple एक application which is so powerful, आप उसको बस English में समझा रहे हो and it is working. That English instructions, that natural language prompt is called system prompt of our AI agent. So what are the advantages of having it is कि आपको खुद कोड नहीं करना पड़ रहा है इसमें, आप बस इसको बोल रहे हो और ये कर रहा है. And how prompt engineering comes here is system prompt लिखने में you have to really work hard. System prompt has been a huge, is has been a very important part of research for, and working as part of AI agents as well. एक proper protocol होता है. There's a lot of iterations that you do while writing system prompt, and उसी के बारे में we will be talking as part of our prompt protocols. तो सिस्टम प्रॉम्प्ट की जो प्रॉम्प्टिंग होती है इट इज़ लिटिल डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अ नॉर्मल प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग. बिकॉज नॉर्मल आप चैट जीपीटी पे लिख रहे हो तो यू कैन गो बैक एंड फोर्थ एंड आप आइट्रेट कर सकते हो. बट वंस यू आर कोडिंग योर ए आई एजेंट, इट इज़ मेंट टू रन ऑटोनॉमसली, राइट? तो आप उसको बार बार आइट्रेट नहीं कर सकते. योर गोल इज टू गेट द प्रॉम्प्ट राइट एट द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम so that the functions that your agent is doing is running correctly every time. Also with proper prompt engineering you can make sure you reduce problems like hallucination and bias, and thereby increasing the efficiency of your agents in terms of productivity and reliability that it is doing the work it has been assigned. Talking about the important components of a system prompt, these are the these are the format which is right now used industry wise. This is the best practice that we are using to write system prompt. This is advisable. Abhi normal prompt engineering karte se bhi many parts you can use, and whenever you're writing a system prompt for your AI agent, agar aap ye format use karte ho, this is the best to get the best results, right? So we'll go every component one by one. Firstly, we have role. So role you give your agent a persona, like a role playing key. You are a marketing agent, so or you are a data analyst, you have to do this. So here you can set the tone, the expertise, the focus of your prompt. अब बता रहे किस डोमेन किस यूज केस में काम कर रहा है, क्या एप्लीकेशन और उसका क्या टास्क है. AI agents are mostly, I'm not saying replacing, but they are as a companions of yours, right? They are helping you with your task. So आप उसको एक role दोगे कि what position AI is going to have, that is called your role. Secondly, we have objective. So in objective, we define कि वो क्या क्या काम करने वाला, उसको क्या aim है, what is the aim we want our AI to achieve. That we write in as part of our objective. So result, we'll mention that. It is usually 2 to 3 lines, but we can also add something very important as part of this, which is called emotional reinforcement. What emotional reinforcement is, जैसे आप कोई एम्प्लॉय भी है आपका, अगर आपको उससे कुछ काम कराना है तो यू गिव हिम ना इंसेंटिव्स की ओके इफ यू कंप्लीट दिस टास्क एंड इफ यू रिजल्ट दिस मच एक्यूरेसी आई विल गिव यू बोनस. सिमिलरली आप अपने सिस्टम प्रॉम्प्ट के थ्रू अपने एआई एजेंट को भी काफ़ी चीज़ों हेल्प इट प्रायोरिटाइज थिंग्स, और उसको बोलते हो कि यू शुड मेक श्योर कि customer is happy. If customer is happy, you are getting positive points. And just like in reinforcement learning, we have reward and penalty system. If you do something, if the response is correct, if the result is correct, you get rewards, and if it is not, you get penalty. So similarly, the emotional reinforcement where you can add points to your AI agent so that it prioritizes accuracy, customer satisfaction, and these things as part of the objective, the final end goal. Next, we have context. In context, we write the information about the domain our agent is. यहाँ पे we can add more specifications, domain specific customization in terms of instructions and terminologies. For example, I am building a AI agent which is analyzing the data of the customers saved in my Salesforce database. सो सेल्स फोर्स में जो टर्म्स होंगी, जो टर्मिनोलॉजीज होंगी, वो काफ़ी इंडस्ट्री स्पेसिफिक हो गए. एंड दिस AI agent is also specific to one use case. I am helping using that AI agent to write emails to my clients, taking information from that knowledge base, which the data from my Salesforce, and then it is performing. So this is how you can go about. Next, we have tools. So now we have not only agents but multi agents also. So agents क्या करते हैं, कोई आप specific task देखते हो, maybe you told it to go, you gave it context, you gave it knowledge base कि you are a email writing assistant, this is the context of our complete client and you have to draft an email. तो वो email लिख रहा है, तो now we don't want ना chat GPT की तरह कि वहीं पे आपको दे, we wanted to go and even send that email to the client. So we need tools integrated for to complete these workflow. So those tools and function calling systems are integrated, so we also mention them here in this part of the system prompt. कि these are the tools available and this is how you are going to use them. And now comes the very important part, which is the task or the instructions. So they should be very properly structured. Complete workflow हम बताते हैं अपने एक AI एजेंट का कि पहले आपको ये करना है, देन आपको ये करना है, देन आपको ये करना है, ऐसे इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं हम उसको. We make sure that the instructions are properly in order. We can also use advanced techniques like chain of prompting here to optimize and make sure the clarity and the working of our system prompt is better. Next, we have examples. So this comes under the prompting technique called few shot prompting, जहाँ पे हम we add examples to make our system prompt understand better कि क्या क्या करना है. We also add fallbacks to handle ambiguities or edge cases. So examples are very much important. If you give examples in your as part of your system prompt, it makes sure that your AI agent is working better. एंड लास्टली वी हैव नोट्स. तो ऐसा अगर कोई पार्ट है आपके सिस्टम प्रॉम्प्ट विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, मार्क इन रेड लाइन्स, बोल्ड, इटैलिक्स, कि आपको बोलना है कि ये चीज़ तो इसको मेक श्योर करनी ही है कि वाइल राइटिंग द ईमेल मेक श्योर यू यूज़ प्रोफेशनल लैंग्वेज. तो वो सारी चीज़ें यू राइट एज पार्ट ऑफ द नोट. And why are we writing this note in the end? There's a concept called information lost in the middle. So there has been a study, research study which was done. जिसमें लिखते थे कुछ कुछ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स दे यूज टू गेट, अगर आपका सिस्टम बहुत prompt बहुत लंबा है, that information used to get lost in the middle. So therefore, if you have very important information, you can add them at the last so that the LLM makes sure that it LLM your agent make sure कि वो चीज़ properly follow हो रही है as part of your notes. Now we will talk about few more tips and tricks which are very important while writing system prompt. Firstly, is make sure your prompt is accurate and concise. It is not having a lot of redundant information. Make it very crisp and to the point. So that is very important. Secondly, you should have shorter sentences. For example, in instructions, we don't want you to write complete paragraphs की ऐसे ऐसे कहानी आपने लिख दी कि ये करना है, ये करना है, ये करना है. You should add short sentences and proper sentences to make sure कि आप completely information बता भी रहे हो अपने system prompt में कि ऐसे instructions आ रही हैं, but also they are short sentences that AI can understand and redundancy नहीं हो रही है, ambiguity नहीं हो रही है इसमें. Thirdly, use markdowns. तो markdowns work very well with LLMs. तो अगर आपको LLM को बताना है कि you have to emphasize on one thing, this is a new prompt section, this is something which is very important, you can use different markdowns like hashtags, asterisks, lists. So all these markdowns also, we also get these markdowns as part of ChatGPT responses, right? So they work very well and you can incorporate them as part of your system prompt. Next, we have things like prompt compression and optimization. So, we have concepts like token response time and cost efficiency in our system prompt. तो एक token size होता है, the number of characters or words that you're using. एक token limit होती है हर system prompt की, हर एक response जो AI agent हमारा या LLM हमारा जनरेट कर रहा है. सो एज पार्ट ऑफ इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करो, बिकॉज एज द टोकन लिमिट इंक्रीजेस योर रिस्पॉन्स टाइम by the LLM for that output also increases, which thereby also increase your cost. So ये factors भी बहुत important है when you are building an agent कि आप सही token size की चीज़ें यूज़ कर रहे हो, you're keeping things in limit so that they are not exceeding, उससे आपका कॉस्ट भी इंक्रीज नहीं हो रहा है. फॉर दिस यू कैन यूज फ्यू टूल्स लाइक फॉर counting tokens. I personally use OpenAI का tokenizer for better understanding. You can also refer to their blog to understand more. Apart from that, there are also many cost calculators that can help you optimize your prompt, and you can compress your prompt. So this technique is called prompt compressing, where you are removing redundant information and relevant and important words you have used, karo, making sure your prompt is short. It can be done with two ways, both the lazy method or the technical method. I can share your resource where you can read more about these two things. Nextly, we also have things like different LLM benchmarking. So आपको पता है कि different LLMs different चीज़ों में जाने जाते हैं. For example, I personally like to use Claude for copywriting and many times for my code writing as well. A lot of people use Perplexity for research. I am also like a OpenAI ChatGPT paglu. I mean, everything what I write, I also use it to review everything. तो हर LM के कुछ specific benchmarks हैं, कुछ specific वर्किंग है, रीजनिंग जैसे डीप सीक रीजनिंग में बहुत अच्छा है. तो हर एलएलएम की अपनी स्पेशलिटीज़ हैं, एक प्रॉम्प्ट समझने के एक तरीका है. सो इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स, आपकी जो प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग है वो आपके एलएलएम के हिसाब से और चेंज हो जाती हैं. हर एलएलएम के हिसाब से डिफरेंट प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग आप थोड़ा वर्किंग होती है, that you have to make sure. And also उनमें भी advancements होती रहती हैं. For example, OpenAI है, ChatGPT है, so there are multiple models that have come up, right? So आपको उसके हिसाब से भी check करना पड़ता है कि which API you have to use in your agent and how should your system prompt be written in order to leverage it the best. Nextly, we also have things like prompt versioning, जो आप make sure कर सकते हो कि आप उस चीज़ को follow करो so that you optimize your prompt. And lastly, we have feedback to the LLM. So एक feedback loop अगर आप बनाते हो on your prompts, तो वो आपको बहुत help करता है कि based on your users feedback, you're constantly improving yourself. As I said, evaluation and iteration is very important in prompt engineering. You have to iterate it, test it a lot of time to work it to make it perfect. So we have a playground. We have as part of OpenAI, Gemini also have its playground where you can try these things. Let me show you in Azure Foundry how you can do that. So here is our Azure AI Foundry. You can see they have so many models. So you can go ahead and try them. You have 3.0, 4.0 mini. I personally like 4.0 mini the best as part of GPT ecosystem for most of my works. We also have DALI, we have Whisper, we also have DeepSeek and other models as well. You can check them out. So you can when you go on and on the playground, you can add those LLMs API key after deploying them, and you know write your system prompt here. You can add here are examples. There's different sections. You have different. You can add knowledge base here. So your data source over here. You can also work around and fine tune these parameters to get better results. So you can tune these parameters, temperature, top P, and all these things. And you can really work, play around, and experiment with prompt engineering. I'll tell you, it is very interesting and it is really worth it. You'll learn a lot with this. Next, since we are talking, this is a session by Microsoft Azure, so we cannot stop and we cannot not mention Copilot. So as I earlier said, Copilot is a complete suite of AI agents, and Copilot, everyone can use it. Whether you are a technical or even a non-technical programmer, you can go here to their Copilot developer camp. You can check out their three parts that they have: make your agent part, extend your agent part, and build your agent part. Make agent part where you can directly build Copilot agents as part of their studio. So it is complete visual programming, very drag and drop, and very simple things that you can do to build your Copilot agents. As part of Extend, you get to add few more functionalities. You can customize things a bit, and in Build you can even customize your agent engine. So all these three you can explore these parts. So as part of extend extend extending the Copilot, I was just experimenting a lot, and I just saw that to build extend Copilot, there are not many things. There's a complete framework. They have instruction system prompt tools and knowledge base. That's it to build your AI agent. And it was so cool that just here I have little bit used their examples. There's a role, you are a Salesforce assistant. Here I have mentioned its role. Here are the guidelines, instructions, and here are the examples and the note to remember. So this is how you can talk around and work around with your system prompt. Also sharing my experience, my experiments with system prompts. So I've been judge and mentor at a lot of hackathons, and I remember three incidents especially where I was completely blown by the kind of AI agents students had made as part of the hackathon. So I'll just share them. And there they had very smartly and very efficiently used system prompt to build their project, which actually helped them really stand out. So, first example was there was a team as part of the hackathon called Code Kshetra, where they were building a comment. Um, it was like a tool, a Chrome extension they had built, which used to hide inappropriate DMs or comments. So they had made one POC of them in for LinkedIn. So if anyone is sending you malicious or in a platform inappropriate DM, it will get hide and you can even report that. So what stood out the most as part of their project was the system prompt that they had written in simple English. They had written such a great logic. So in their system prompt, they had make sure कि their right now their POC they had only made one POC, one MVP that was for the use case of LinkedIn. कि हमने भी LinkedIn पे ही अपना Chrome extension work करके दिखाए थे, but it was also working on other platforms थोड़ा networking के बाद. But the system prompt that they had written was very universal. The most standing out thing as part of that system prompt was that it was platform specific. In this system prompt only, they had mentioned कि जो platform है, if the platform is LinkedIn, तो अगर LinkedIn के हिसाब से कोई DM inappropriate हो सकता है, लेकिन the same अगर प्लेटफॉर्म टेंडर है या आपका एक्स है तो मे बी इतना इनअप्रोप्रिएट नहीं लगेगा. इफ द प्लेटफॉर्म इज इंस्टाग्राम, वहाँ पे जो DMs आ रहे कमेंट्स आ रहे मे बी दे will be not that inappropriate on that platform, but वो LinkedIn पे करेंगे. So that sensitivity, that all the context your LLM has, but आपको उसको बताना पड़ेगा. It is not a genie जो अपने आप ये चीजें imagine कर देगा. And the team had really nailed it. Second example, it is part of a hackathon called Hack for Bihar, where a team was making a AI agents for tourism in Bihar. So they were telling that not much information is there about Bihar tourism, and not much advocacy is being done. So they wanted to do that. And what stood out the most as part of their project was their chatbot. So it was a Bhojpuri chatbot, and the nuances, the linguistic nuances that they had mentioned as part of their system prompt was absolutely killer. They had made their project open source, and they had asked everyone who was participating in the hackathon to go ahead and try that chatbot. And I'll tell you, 90% of people love that chatbot. So it is not like abhi aap chat gpt pe jaoge and you say ki, converse with me in Bhojpuri, and you talk to him, you ask him to tell you jokes, tell you things about Bihar, तो वो नहीं बताएगा. But based on the system prompt जो उन्होंने nuances रखे थे, जो छोटी छोटी language के इनकन्सिस्टेंसीज हैं जो नॉर्मल चैटबॉट में अभी सीधा आप चैट जीपीटी पे लिखोगे, वो चीज़ आपको इनकन्सिस्टेंसीज जो मिलेंगी, जो मिसिंग फैक्टर्स मिलेंगे, दे हैड प्रॉपरली mention them as part of their system now. And also one bonus bonus key point about that guy, he also used to write theater plays, so he really knew how to that thing really. He told me, I asked him, how was your system prompt so beautiful and full of nuances of the specific language. So he told me that he used to write theater plays, so that skill was actually helping him write such a good prompt. So that was amazing. And third and the last example, this is from Hackathon Innovix, where a team had made a scholarship. It was going to different. It had also made a AI chatbot, but what it was doing was it was fetching information about different scholarships, and this chatbot for people who want to access information in their native languages, and people who are little less literate. So it was also a voice based agent, so they can easily communicate. So what was the most amazing part of their project was they were definitely going to websites, scraping the information and showing it. So that was the context, that was the knowledge that they were using. But the system prompt, what they had done differently was they made sure their system prompt was making the information accessible in a very simple and easy to understand way. And even the multilingualistic behavior, it was not just saying that if your user is using this language, you also speak in the same language. They also made a lot of framework constraints on that system prompt to make sure that it is helpful, that multilingualistic feature is actually helpful and better than normal API chatbots that you use. So these are the three examples where I can definitely say, if you are also making a project, a AI agent, maybe as part of hackathon, a competition, as a business use case, if you really work on your system prompt, it can really enhance your project. And that is why I said in the beginning that prompt engineering is a essential part of the user experience of your AI agent. So system prompt is a good system prompt really enhances the digital experience of your overall application. And I would also like to add three more points that how you now you have completed this talk, and now you have understood many things. So I want you to go and experiment these things. So three things that you can do them is first by building a voice agent. So in SaaS, it can also help you land a lot of SaaS or freelancing opportunities if you build a good one. A lot of freelancing opportunities are there in this domain. So build a voice agent, and it can be for any SaaS use case, maybe for medical purposes like hospital appointment setting, or for use cases like customer service. So build a voice agent and work on the system prompt. We have a lot of options, coding and non-coding options, both ways you can go depending upon your technical background, and you can work around and experiment with their system prompt. It will be very interesting project to work. Secondly, you can also work on platform bots with specific use case. So this can be a very good project and a learning exercise for you all, where you can make a WhatsApp bot or a Notion bot. You can also make Figma bots, AI agents. You can go ahead and make them. And maybe for Notion, you are building for the use case of marketeers, or maybe people who do copywriting. So you make a AI agent specifically for people who are doing copywriting, and when you go ahead and write system prompt for that, you learn a lot about copywriting as well. And you can talk to copywriters and understand the nuances, and then the kind of AI agent you will make, those people will love it. And lastly, it is something related to my own project, Neurospark. So I loved working on this, and there's one thing that many people make, uh, AI learning personal bots, assistants for children. So you can also go ahead and build that. But there are many more. If you talk to teachers and schools, you can know that there are many things that they want to achieve. In this particular use case, you are building for students. So you have to also make sure they don't misuse AI. There are a lot of ethical and privacy concerns that are associated with it. So you can also use this system prompt as a framework to make sure all these things, all these blockers, you can solve it through system prompt. So that would be an interesting thing to do. At lastly, we will be going through some interesting topics around this topic, around this whole talk, which is, have you all also heard many people when it started prompt engineering as a complete job, and many were saying it is a hack? So this is a meme related to that. Or you, I'm pretty sure you must have seen these two guys as part of your YouTube ads, where they used to say that prompt engineers are earning about 80 lakhs, 1 crore rupees a month, and if you take their workshop, you can also earn that. I mean, we or most of us know that it is a scam. But what if I tell you, definitely it is a scam? But this prompt engineering skill can actually help you land very high packages. Definitely, prompt engineering itself is not a complete sustainable job profile. It is not something that it will, prompt engineering alone will help you grab a 50 lakh or 30 lakh LPA package. But it can definitely, if you have proper skills, proper fundamentals, basics clear, you can build good frameworks, you have good knowledge, and then you also have uh, good prompt engineering skills, then definitely you will land a very good job. So the real skill is to know how AI thinks and how you can refine your prompts to get the best responses. Nextly, a lot of people are saying that language, natural language, English is going to be the new programming language. Maybe it is right, maybe it is not wrong, but definitely prompt engineering and natural language processing prompting is coming up as a revolution in the current world, where you can just tell LLM what you want and every task can be done. So this is also what we wanted to do with programming, right? We used to write instructions and perform tasks. Now we are doing it with simple language and the tasks are being done. So we should really see it as a potential tool and learn how to leverage it. And lastly, it all this talk, maybe you're not into very much into AI application, but it will still be very relevant and helpful to you, because we all are seeing this rise of vibe coding, where you write a code, where you give a prompt, and within minutes, within hours, you can completely build your project. Not to mention days spent debugging that code. But if you know, vibe coding itself is also an art. So after prompt engineering, maybe we can one day, you know, talk about how you can do vibe coding the right way. Definitely here also you need your fundamentals clear, you should have basic knowledge, but then you can leverage AI for advanced tasks. So thank you all. This was for my talk, and you all can connect with me for more issues and queries.